In politics, even a routine medical checkup can become a national headline. President Donald Trump's October 2025 visit to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center was no exception. This wasn't just a standard checkup, it involved a diagnostic scan that set off a wave of speculation. The health of a president is always under scrutiny, especially for someone as polarizing as Trump. When news broke of a second, unscheduled evaluation that year, questions about transparency and underlying issues exploded across media and social platforms. Reports suggested Trump had undergone an MRI, adding to the mystery. The public's interest isn't just curiosity. The 25th Amendment makes presidential health a matter of national security. Every detail, accurate or not, is dissected for its political implications. This episode highlights the tension between a president's right to privacy and the public's right to know. At 79, Trump's age only amplifies the scrutiny. What began as a private medical matter quickly became a political firestorm. Official statements, media analysis, and partisan accusations followed. This story isn't just about medicine. It's about perception, politics, and the power of a single medical scan. As we'll see, even a routine test can become a defining moment in a presidency. The line between health and politics has never been thinner. Early reports claimed President Trump had an MRI, but he clarified in a Wall Street Journal interview that it was actually a CT scan. Both are advanced imaging tools, but they serve different purposes. The White House physician Navy Captain Sean P. Barbabella confirmed the scan was to rule out cardiovascular issues. The choice of a CT scan was a targeted precautionary measure, not a sign of crisis. This clarification was crucial in calming rumors and explaining the medical reasoning. An MRI often suggests neurological concerns, while a CT scan is typically used for quick, detailed images of blood vessels and organs. By correcting the record, the White House aimed to shift the narrative from panic to proactive care. The distinction wasn't just medical, it was strategic, designed to control public perception. In high-stakes politics, even a single word, MRI versus CT, can change the entire story. The administration's quick response was an attempt to regain control and focus on facts. In the end, it was about transparency and managing the message. President Trump's reaction to the scan was telling. In his Wall Street Journal interview, he expressed regret, not about the scan itself, but about the political fallout. "It's too bad I took it," he said, frustrated that a precautionary test became ammunition for critics. In today's hyperpartisan climate, even proactive healthcare can be spun as a sign of weakness. Trump felt the scan gave his opponents and the media an opening to question his fitness for office. He argued that transparency sometimes creates more problems than it solves. The focus, he said, was never on his clean bill of health, but on the fact that he needed a test at all. Trump's regret was strategic. He believes perception often outweighs reality in politics. He even admitted to being a little superstitious, suggesting that looking for problems invites trouble. "I would have been a lot better off if they didn't," he concluded, highlighting the political cost of transparency. For Trump, the scan's normal results were overshadowed by the negative headlines. This episode reveals the delicate balance leaders face between openness and political vulnerability. In the end, the scan became less about health and more about the relentless nature of political combat. Every action, even one meant for well-being, can be weaponized. The lesson: in politics, perception is everything. Amid the uproar, the White House physician delivered a clear verdict: President Trump remains in exceptional health. Navy Captain Sean P. Barbabella's official statements were unequivocal. The October CT scan results were perfectly normal, no abnormalities found. The scan, meant to check for cardiovascular issues, instead confirmed Trump's robust health. Barbabella went further, stating Trump's cardiovascular health is equivalent to someone 14 years younger. This wasn't just reassurance, it was a strategic message of vigor and capability. The doctor's assessment directly addressed concerns about Trump's fitness for office. On top of physical health, Trump announced he'd aced his third straight cognitive exam, scoring 100%. This publicized result was meant to silence critics questioning his mental acuity. Together, these statements built a comprehensive case for Trump's readiness to lead. the administration aimed to close the book on speculation with facts and numbers. In the battle over perception, official medical reports became powerful tools. The message: Trump is not just fit, he's thriving. For his team, health is both a shield and a statement. The CT scan controversy was just one chapter in the ongoing scrutiny of Trump's health. At 79, every detail, from swollen legs to bruised hands, became fodder for speculation. The White House responded, swollen legs were a benign age-related issue. Bruises were from handshakes and aspirin use. Trump himself explained his long-standing aspirin habit, adding context to the bruising. Even photos allegedly showing him asleep at events were dismissed as misleading. Just a blink, he insisted. Every gesture and image was analyzed, forcing the administration into constant explanation. The scrutiny reflects the high stakes of presidential optics. For Trump, personal habits and public perception are inseparable. The White House's strategy: normalize, explain, and move on. In this environment, even the smallest detail can become a political flashpoint. Trump has turned the focus on his own health into a call for universal cognitive testing for all presidential and vice presidential candidates. He argues this would provide objective proof of mental fitness, challenging his rivals to meet the same standard. By publicizing his perfect scores, Trump sets the bar and dares others to follow. The proposal reframes the debate. It's no longer just about Trump's fitness, but about a universal benchmark for all candidates. With both Trump and Biden among the oldest presidents, age and cognitive health are now central political issues. Trump's move is both defensive and offensive, addressing concerns about himself while putting pressure on opponents. Whether practical or not, the idea resonates with voters worried about leadership capability. The conversation has shifted. Fitness for office is now a testable public standard. Trump's team argues there's a double standard in media coverage of presidential health. They claim Trump's every detail is scrutinized, while Biden's health concerns were downplayed until late in his term. White House spokeswoman Taylor Rogers called the media's focus on Trump disingenuous, contrasting it with what she described as protective coverage of Biden. Trump's allies point to Biden's debate stumbles and physical missteps as evidence that didn't receive equal attention. This perceived bias fuels the administration's combative stance toward the press. For Trump's team, health stories are less about facts and more about political agendas. The debate isn't whether health is covered, but how, and for whom. The double standard narrative is a powerful tool in the ongoing media battle. The saga of Trump's CT scan shows how health becomes a political weapon. In today's climate, even routine tests are spun into narratives of strength or weakness. Opponents use health rumors to plant doubts about a candidate's stamina and judgment. The accused must counter with glowing doctors' reports and public displays of vigor. The cycle blurs the line between genuine concern and political attack. For older candidates, every cough or stumble is magnified for political gain. Responsible inquiry and cynical exploitation are hard to separate. Health is no longer just personal, it's central to the campaign battlefield. In this environment, perception often trumps reality. The Trump health scan controversy signals a new era of relentless focus on presidential fitness. As the 2028 election approaches, candidates will face demands for transparency and cognitive testing. Trump's proposal has already changed the conversation. Future contenders must decide how much to reveal. The balance between transparency and privacy is more precarious than ever. The White House's narrative management, clarifying facts, confronting rumors, shows the stakes. Ultimately, a president's health is inseparable from national security and public trust. The CT scan episode proves how quickly private matters become public spectacles. The debate over how we assess our leaders' health will only intensify, shaping the future of American politics.